which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Chandler. Here. Mr. Price.
Here.
Ms. Gump. Here. Mr. Costello.
Here.
Ms. Cooper. Here. Mr. DeHuda.
Here.
Mr. Zatansik.
Here.
Mr. Bahagas. Mr. Menides.
Here.
8 present.
If anyone is filming or recording, please give the name and address to the recording secretary, Ms. Miller, Ms. Thomas. All right, the board met in executive session to discuss personnel and legal matters prior to tonight's board meeting. And let's move on to citizens speak. Again, 3 minutes. Don't want to cut anybody off, so please restrict yourself to 3 minutes. Carla, you're up first.
Okay, I'm back again. Today I'm bringing the final of my petition, and I have 468 signatures against your logo. And I will give it to Mr. Daniels to post. I have had a lot of people tell me that one of the reasons, and it came from somebody on the board, I guess, when they called you, we wanted something more intimidating, something that would be more intimidating to other teams. Why don't you just win? Why don't they just win? If somebody has a problem and that your team isn't intimidating somebody, maybe it's because you don't win. And obviously, Mr. McCullough didn't do a lot of his history on their logos. Our logo, there's 500 school districts in this state. And Canon-McMillan happens to have the 13th best logo, and it's not yours. It's the Highlander. I think you people need to take a step back. Again, I will tell you, the people in this town are very upset. Before I left this board, I was sitting here, and this conversation came up. And there are people here who know that I had this conversation, and Mr. McCullough was here. And I said to him, you change the Big Mac, and this town will go nuts. And I did say that to you. And I asked you, I said, don't do it. And you did not include any of the public in your meeting. You didn't put an agenda out for your meetings when you posted them in the paper. There was no agenda. Nobody knew what you were going to do. So the community is up in arms. And I'm just saying that you guys really should sit down with us. If there's a bunch of people who would like to sit down and you have some questions answered that we need to have answered. Because they're not happy at all. And there are people that are out there, they want these people's seats. And I didn't print that, but it's been said online. I'm just telling you, you need to sit down with some of us and have a conversation about why you did it and why it looks like it does. Thank you.
Thank you, Norma.
Mr. Sniddle.
Thank you. I'm going to speak again on transparency, as I have in over 6 or 8 school board meetings this year, and fortunately they're on videotape, video and audio, thanks to this wonderful parent who does the taping and gets them posted on YouTube. Congratulations to you for posting one audio for the last school board meeting. 2. Okay. I complimented the school district for that, and for said they post them a few days later, and they quickly remarked that they posted the next day. So I was going to say, maybe you better wait. They always post it the next day. I said, maybe you better wait before you use the word always. But anyway, I want to jump right to the transparency that was recently posted on Twitter, not my go-to site, or the website, Canon-McMillan. One passage is, there were a variety of different staff members present at the meetings, from teachers to board members and administration to support staff members. I looked at all 4 of those meetings, and I didn't see one teacher listed. So I think this is misleading to group these wonderful professionals as being part of this logo and mascot change. This isn't. I didn't see one, and you stated first, teachers to board members. You used the plural, so I think this is intentionally misleading. So that doesn't go to transparency. That's complete opposite of transparency. And I looked up all the people that were listed just to verify my claim. It was Emmanuel Pohikis, Kathy Cooper, Tim McCullough, Michael Daniels, Debbie Grebeck, Morgan Northey, Lauren Paddock, Mike Evans, Greg Taranto, Jesse Mader, representative for Oak Creations was there, and Neil Stewart, a support staff. Now, maybe he's a teacher, I don't know. Also, Joni Mansman, Ken Crawley, Brenda Rupert. Not one teacher. I think there needs to be a correction. Please remove the teachers from this logo mascot change. In your video, if you can, the next day. Thank you.
Mr. Sullivan?
Hello, I'm here again from 2 weeks ago. Just wanted to reiterate just a couple of things. After I left the meeting from 2 weeks ago, I showed more of the present and the original logo mascot, and you are infuriating the town. Not 17-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 60-year-olds, like here from class of 1980. We're all class of 1980. Sam's mother, she's 93. She thought it was horrible. So take that into consideration. Maybe there's a revote maybe needed. I don't know if any of you are of any kind of a faith, but did you think about it and pray about it before you made this decision? Because the logo is very satanic, it's very demonic, and if that's what we have in here, it's pathetic, pathetic. We put our faith into all of you to make decisions for the high school for all of us. It's not working out the way you kind of maybe thought it would. I'm the treasurer for the Scholarship Foundation. We had a meeting with just the officers last night after Rita passed away 2 weeks ago. They've taken out to some of the people. Some of the kids have just graduated, and I'm writing checks right now for the kids going to universities. I'm getting the tuition bills in. They're like, I'm glad I'm out of that high school now. I'm glad I'm out of there. Is that what you want? Do you want this demonic looking thing on your diploma? Oh, I went to Canon-McMillan. Oh, great, look at that thing. Oh, I won't put that on my wall. Is that what you want? Is that what you want us to have and us to feel? I'm with the Scholarship Foundation 16 years. I get money for these kids. I get money for all your seniors here. That's what I do. I'm a fundraiser. It's sad what you guys have done. So maybe we just need to maybe relook at it again. Maybe make a few changes. I asked Jim and Sherry Sokowski to be here tonight. They had another obligation. Jim did the original one, the original Highlander. Think about it. Thank you.
Ms. Thomas?
Good evening. Also on the subject of the logos, I'm not going to stand here and pretend that I'm in love with the new logos. I won't give a false representation. I'm also aware there are plenty of things in the district, curriculum, academics, that I consider far more satanic and concerning than the logo. So I just, we all choose to put our energy different places. But I will point out the June 22nd agenda meeting under section 4, where board meeting minutes were going to be approved, the branding committee meeting was listed there. Those committee meeting minutes clearly state that the presentation would be made for the board's approval on June 29th. Those committee meeting minutes also include teacher Lauren Paddock. So just wanted you to know that, Dennis. Also on June 22nd, Mr. McCullough spent 7-8 minutes going over the proposal. That meeting was open to the public. I believe there were some logos cast up here for everyone to take a look at. Sure enough, a week later, on the 29th, here's the agenda. The voting meeting included item number 628, logo mascot revisions, the intention to approve. So just wanted to run through the fact-based of how everything was covered and presented. Again, I'm not saying I'm in love with them, just stating the facts. My second comment is an opinion. My son's a 2021 grad, so he bears the horrible representation, I guess, of being only a 19-year-old. His diploma does not have the logo on it, by the way. But he competed proudly for this district over many sports seasons. The reason he can't be here tonight to tell you that he actually really liked the mascot logo that he saw. Everybody's got their own opinion, so he loved it. He's not here tonight to say it because he's back at school now competing for his college based on the experience he had here. So I just wanted to share that, and thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Mullins.
Ms. Miller?
I'm gonna stand here because I'm always behind my camera. I truly love the passion that this logo brought out in our community. And our new logo really perfectly illustrates that fiery attitude that's coming out. When I first saw the logo, I did reject it. But then, as I had conversations with board members, because you're all very responsive, and I learned through our own meeting attendees more about the history, and I was truthfully, had to be honest with myself, I realized it was a much needed change, and I was just following human nature of rejecting something different. It also helped last night when I went through all my Canon-McMillan gear, and I have about 15 different shirts. None of them have that guy on them. They all have the CM. I went through my husband's gear, my 3 kids' gear, shoes, pants, headbands, gloves, hats. It's ridiculous the amount of stuff we have. Nobody has that guy on it. Every single item has the CM, and I'll be honest, I make half of it with my Cricut at home, okay? Which I know can get into licensing and different problems with the divisions and inconsistencies of the 50 Shades of Blue, right? I know you got it right though, when a citizen said it's something you would see on the back of basketball and baseball t-shirts. Well, yes, who's advertising our logo? It's the sports teams. Who's wearing it to the events? It's the parents, it's the players, it's the teammates. And where are they going? To basketball, to football, to community day, to Oktoberfest, to homecoming. That's where your brand is being advertised, and it's the athletes who are advertising it for you. It's free PR, right? The logo is extremely important, and that's why you pay double for the Nike swoosh. It's the emotions and ideas that that image invokes that gives it its value. People use that logo to show off their feelings and connection. So you got it right. The community over the last 2.5 years has been very divided. And it's a relief this year to have field trips and homecoming and open houses again. A strong brand image is another way to bring the community together, and we should be working together and celebrate this. Last night, as I showed my logo to the husband, my logo, because I'm already making it my own, he's an alumni, and he played basketball and football for Canon-McMillan, along with his brothers and mother. When I showed it to him, he goes, huh, that's pretty cool. He's looking over my shoulder as I'm looking at your website page. I showed my daughter, who's very proudly going to wear a varsity basketball uniform this year. And she goes, huh, that's way cooler than that guy. That's what we call him in our house, that guy. We don't call him the Big Mac, because then we're looking for the golden arches. We don't know what a Big Mac is. You were very wise, too, to do those custom colors. I work in home building, and I know how difficult that supply and control and consistency is. So excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. All right. Thank you all for your comments. Moving on, the motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Bernie. Second.
Second.
Second by Liz. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Recognition we covered last week. I need a motion to approve the board minutes from June 29th, the August 3rd meeting, the August 10th meeting, and the August 11th meeting for the Buildings and Grounds Committee. Motion by Joe, second by Mark. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bills for ratification as discussed last week during our agenda meeting.
Motion.
Motion by Bernie, second by Joe. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Treasurer's report as reviewed last week. Motion by Joe, second by Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry. Any
recommend the board approve the personnel sheets and substitute list as presented.
Motion by Joe, second by Mark. Any discussion on the personnel sheets as presented? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Approval of the annual school bus routes for the 22-23 school year.
Joe? Second by Mark. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
The annual approval item for superintendent, assistant superintendent, and board members to travel to conferences.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Bernie, second by Joe. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We recommend the board approve the federal grant applications.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second by Mark. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And as reviewed last week, the contracts, agreements, and proposals for your approval.
Numbers 1 through 8 on the agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second. Second by Mark. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We ask for approval of the tuition students as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second. Second by Bernie. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the tax assessment appeals for your approval. As identified.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second.
Second.
Liz, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Tax assessment appeals as presented.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Bernie, second by Joe. Second by Joe. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We ask for approval of the contracted carrier driver list.
Motion.
So moved.
Joe, second.
Second.
By Liz. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the next item is for your approval of the contracted carrier agreements.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second by Mark. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We ask for approval of the comprehensive plan.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second.
Second.
Second by Liz. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the next item is the induction plan, part of the comprehensive plan. It requires separate approval.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second by Mark. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the professional development plan, again, portion of the comprehensive plan.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second.
Second.
Second by. Second by Julie. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the final component of the comp plan for your approval is the gifted education plan.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second.
Second.
Second by Julie. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Catherine, too slow.
We ask for your approval of the education stakeholders list as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second. Second by Mark. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next item, as discussed last week, the high school ATSI plan.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second.
Second.
Second by Liz. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And we ask for your approval of the survey as part of the research study.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second by Mark. Any discussion on the survey? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next item is the easement agreement for your approval for West Bend Power.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second.
Second.
Second by Bernie. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And this next item is a retroactive approval for you regarding the boiler repair, the old King First.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second.
Second.
Second by Liz.
I got a question on that. Is that okay?
Yes.
Is that boiler repair bid, or HVAC, can they repair that?
It's done. It's already fixed.
I mean, did they do the work or did we hire it out?
bid out.
You bid out.
Yeah, it was bid out.
Usually I thought our HVAC guys took care of it.
I think those boilers are so old,
We're having a hard time finding parts.
yeah, the parts aren't readily available, and it just so happened this vendor had those parts that we needed.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next item is a change order, GC2, for the support facility parking lots. It's actually a deduct from unused allowances.
Motion by Joe, second by Mark. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And as discussed last week, provision for the health and safety.
Motion? Joe, second.
Second.
Yeah, we post on YouTube, so she's.
Julie, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We ask for your approval of the suspension of policy number 202 while under review by the committee.
Motion by Joe, second. Second by Kathy. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Michael, any other items of information?
Yeah, I'll read for you donations that I approved. Thomas and Maria Keller donated $50 for delinquent cafeteria accounts. From Marietta College, Dr. Cool, for the high school lab equipment, $315.50. And the Horizon Foundation, $970 toward the high school children. Maureen Garner for Borland Manor Elementary, a teacher desk for a classroom valued at $250.
Yes, I